Hi everybody, it's Lisa. I'm back with another Christmas craft idea, and this time I have made Santa's Magic Key a little bit different from the way I usually make them, and I have put them in a plastic pocket added because you know how much I love shaker tags. So there we go, and I really just wanted to show you how I had done it. I did attempt to do a tutorial last night, but it was just not on with my iPhone because I can't see. I've got to stand up really to be able to see if I'm in frame, and the lighting was terrible because I had to use the glass cutting mat. I had all this glare, so I had to give up, but I actually did have everything ready to do a tutorial for you on these, so I'm going to just have to run through and show you what I used and how I did it. Now first of all, you'll see the Magic Key card here, and I'm just moving a bit to sort out this light, and the poem is in here. I did see these on a video on YouTube, but the lady that did them, I went through last night all of my liked videos, but I literally have hundreds, and I stupidly didn't put it into my favourites, so I cannot even tell you who gave me the idea to use these Santa's Magic Key mats, but I'm really sorry, but there are, if you key in Santa's Magic Key, you will get loads of ideas coming up. That's where I found this one because I wanted to do something different, and these images I got off Pinterest for free, but I did have to look really hard to find them. I was on for ages scrolling through loads of different things to find them, but aren't they just perfect for a shaker card? What I've done is I have these waterfall photo sleeves from We Are Memory Keepers, and this time when I ordered them, I had to get them from the US, and it was from the Supermart website via Amazon. And I thought, you know, how much is it going to cost? It's going to be really expensive. But actually they worked out at about 20 pence per sheet, which is really good. So this is one that I had left that I'd stamped on for another project, but this was for a unicorn themed shaker card. But what I do is, I'm just going to tell you, and I hope you don't mind that I can't do the tutorial. I just put the card in, and it obviously kind of comes to there. And then what I do is I turn it upside down to seal it with my fuse tool. Now I've done some stamping on the back. This was a Stampin' Up stamp set that I got last year that I'm ashamed to say I had never even opened up the box and used it. So I used that with silver ink. But I think next time I'll just put a piece of Christmas themed scrapbooking paper on the back, I think. But anyway, here's the fuse tool here, and I've watched loads of tutorials for this, but I'm going to give you a wee bit of advice. It's obviously not switched on, that's why I can touch it, but I use the little kind of wheel one. I always do it upside down because I find that it leaves a kind of rough ridge. Maybe it's just the way I do it, but when you do it upside down, you get a nice smooth edge on your right side. So that's what I do, and basically put the card in, and then I don't use this bit because it gets stuck. I really just do that, and then run it along to seal it, and I trim it with my paper trimmer to get a really neat edge. And the advice I would give you about using the fuse tool is, on the tutorials I've seen, people have said you need to leave it switched on for ages, maybe about 15 minutes for it to actually work. But what I've found is, if I leave it on for ages, it melts the plastic and cuts right through, and I don't know how many sheets I've wasted. And it's not just been the cheap plastic sheets that I've wasted the We Are Memory Keepers ones as well, and laminating sheets, which can take a really high heat. So I don't know if there's something wrong with my fuse tool, but I don't leave it 15 minutes. I just leave it long enough that it's going to fuse them. It would probably be 10 minutes at the most that it would be warm enough. And I test it, you know, on a kind of spare old piece of plastic to see if it's going to fuse. So when I did all of these, it was starting to melt the plastic before I finished. And I would say I'm fairly quick at doing it. So I had to actually switch it off for maybe about half a minute, then switch it back on again. So if you do have bother like that, just don't leave it to heat up for so long, and maybe switch it off midway through working on your stuff and then put it back on again. So once you've fused it and trimmed it off with your trimmer, then you just add your sequins. This is Christmas themed sequins, so there's snowflakes and different things in there. I put some glitter in. I also added a little charm into each one. So some of them have got keys, some of them have got snowflakes. And you can't see this, but there is a little hole in the top corner for this to thread through. But obviously if you don't fuse this, then the glitter's going to just come out. So what I do is I make a tiny hole in it with my Crop-A-Dile, and I put the hole on the tag before it goes in, so that I've got the guide. When it's all been fused, I can see where the hole should be. And once it's fused, wait till I look for the tool that I use. I just go over to the hole that's in the corner, and I really just poke through with this tool here, and then I change the nib in this to the one that's like a little, it's like a pen, it's like the long pen shaped one, and I literally just push the pen into the tiny hole that I've made, and it fuses it. So that's how you can fuse your actual hole round the edges enough to stop the glitter coming out, and you still get your twine through. And then I put the twine through. I had these keys already, they're red plastic ones, it says love there, that had never been used, and I used them and just added a little bell. When I ran out of them, I just added a little brass key. And just wait till I see if I can find it. I've got another little tip for you if I can find it. I probably won't. I did find the pen nib for you though. Do you know, this is because I'm looking for it, I can't find it. I keep a little wire. It was probably, I think I cut up a string of beads, and I keep a little bit of wire, and I actually hook this over the wire, thread the wire through, and then that pulls the twine through. I also use it to get the twine through the little bell, because needles aren't big enough, and if you find one big enough, the eye will be too big to get through the hole. So get yourself a little thin piece of wire, fold it in half, and use that to pull your twine through. So that's another little tip. I think that's all the tips I've got for you. So you will find the cards on Pinterest. You can use your fuse tool. They're really cheap to make. They are so gorgeous. And this one's got a little brass key in it. And they are just adorable. So there you go. Sorry that you aren't getting a tutorial. I did try my best, but I hope I've managed to pass on some tips that you will be able to make these yourself. And I hope that I can be back soon with another project. I've got some ideas that I've picked up off YouTube for some other stuff for Christmas crafts, and I'll share them with you once I'm finished. So thanks very much for your time, and cheerio for now.